Hey, remember me? It's Greg from Baseball and Whatever. How are you doing? Hey, that's great. We should do that sometime. Before we get this episode started, let me tell you about Belly Up Sports. Why, it's only the finest source to get your news on the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, fantasy sports, and more. Whether it's through forums or articles, or their extraordinary podcast network, Belly Up Sports has you covered. They are the Internet's sports bar. Visit bellyupsports.com and follow them on all social media platforms. I hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Hello, everybody. We are back. This is Baseball and Whatever. Vinny, Greg, Justin, we're all here. Episode 40. Today, we are talking baseball and our top 5 bands. I've been losing sleep over my number 5 selection because I don't know what to pick. So we'll get into that. What's that, Vinny?
Did you pick 2 again?
No, I did not. I kept it to 1, and I have honorable mentions. I learned my lesson because I don't want to give up one of my picks to one of you guys. But
we haven't used it yet, so I haven't used mine yet, at least. So
it's gonna be like the little red button you can hit, like in case all fails, break the glass and get an extra pick. But if you have,
I could have made a Bond reference right there, but I'll spare you.
I appreciate that, Greg. Appreciate that. Thank you for listening to Baseball and Whatever. If this is your first time listening to us, welcome. We always do our baseball segment first, although that's been a little bit on the leaner side lately because of the lockout. I'm sure we'll talk about the lockout a little bit today. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame voting. We'll talk about the Bears' recent signings of a GM and a head coach, and hopefully those won't blow up in their faces, but I don't know. But then we will talk about a few other things we got going on, and then we'll get into our top 5 bands. And we have a ton of listener feedback, that people that wrote in. A lot of bands I recognize, a lot of bands I didn't recognize, so I got to go do some homework and check those out. But if you want to write into the show, feel free to email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com or baseballandwhateverpodcast at bellyupsports.com. You can find us on YouTube by searching Baseball and Whatever. You can tweet at us. That's probably our easiest way to get a hold of us. And our Twitter handle is at baseballandwhat. And facebook.com/baseball and whatever. If you are into Facebook, Meta, and Mark Zuckerberg, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with
those commercials are so weird.
Yeah, they are.
My God.
They are. I don't really get it. But but we always like to start off the show with a little history lesson. We are on episode 40, so we're going to take a second to discuss famous number 40s in Chicago sports, because
we're turning 40 today.
Oh
my gosh, we're getting old.
As somebody who's turning 35 in like 5 months, that doesn't sound promising.
Frank
You're
Thomas,
almost as old as Ryan Poles there.
He's making a hell of a lot more money than I am too, Vinny.
Just a little bit. I don't know. $15 an hour.
If I was Olin Kreutz, well, I'm making more money than Olin Kreutz would have from the Bears. So I got that going for me. Let's do famous number 40s. I will be honest, I cannot think of any Blackhawk 40s except I believe goalie Patrick Lalime, backup goalie, was number 40 if I'm not mistaken, and that's all I got. So I don't know, Greg, you want to start us off? And then I know Vinny usually was that right?
No, I did not have that guy on my list. I didn't recognize the name, so he did not make my list. But, Leonard?
Leonard. Oh, Robin Leonard. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Oh God, he was the goalie they should have kept over Corey Crawford, and then they traded Leonard instead because Leonard is a all-star goalie for Vegas right now, and he's kicking butt. So yeah,
very
nice.
Then
we had John Hayden and Arvid Soderblom.
Yes, Soderblom I think is a rookie call-up this season or last season, and John Hayden lasted maybe like a season or two. He was like a fourth line guy. So
19.
Okay, there you go. Well done. Greg, you got any?
I had a ton of White Sox, and I think they're all pitchers. So right now, it's Reynaldo Lopez, who had a little bit of a resurgence last year. Then Daniel Webb, R.I.P. Bartolo Colon, obviously. Jim Parquet, Wilson Alvarez, knuckleballer Charlie Hager, and my personal favorite, J.J. Putz. Because that guy was a putz on the mound. It's actually pronounced putz, but
he had that
putz.
really long
he had the what is that the goatee, the
soul patch, whatever you call that.
Extended soul patch. He looked absolutely ridiculous. But
yeah,
that one season with the White Sox, I remember he was 40. What do you have anyone else, Vinny?
I sorry, I was looking at my list and I wasn't listening at the same time.
Oh, all right.
Wait, did you have Bartolo Colon?
Of course I had Bartolo
And then
Colon.
Jack McDowell, right?
No, he was 29. Did he wear 40 also? Oh, really? Yeah. Well, he was a famous 29 too, so he might have worn 40 early on too. I did not know he wore that until you said that. So, anyone else?
Yeah.
Who else you got, Vinny?
Greg, I was gonna say that's all I had for socks.
Oh,
okay.
Justin, Cubs.
I can't think of a single person.
I've got a couple Cubs, outlier Cubs.
Oh, you do.
I've got the obvious player now is Wilson Contreras. That's who I have.
Oh, man. My brain is gone to shit.
But I have, and I was super excited when the Cubs got this guy because I thought he was solid. It was Rich Harden.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other guy from one season, longtime Padre, third baseman Phil Nevin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about, man. So, well done, Greg.
I think the famous 40 for the Cubs was like Rick Sutcliffe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Who else, Vinny?
Was he 40? I didn't see him on the list there.
I'm pretty sure he was. That was like in the 80s, though. So
I had James Russell.
Oh, relief pitcher. Yeah, lefty relief pitcher, right? Yeah.
Yep. And then Todd Wellemeyer.
Oh my God, there's blast from the past.
I loved Todd Wellemeyer. He was my guy.
Yeah, remember that guy.
He was my guy. Him and I remember Andy. I think it was Todd Pratt or Andy Pratt, one of the two. They came up at the same time. And Andy, I think it was Andy Pratt had like a 64 ERA after like two appearances in like 2003 or 2004. I don't know why. Him
and Scott Williamson, huh?
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Actually, he was good with the Cubs, wasn't he? Oh no, he was good with the Reds. Bad with the
Reds.
Cubs.
Yeah, and Todd Wellemeyer had a couple good seasons with the Cubs. I know they wanted him to be a starter, and I think he ended up as a bullpen guy, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Cubs had some decent Todds. There's Wellemeyer. There's Hollinsworth. A lot of Todds with long last names.
Yeah. I dig it.
Todd Walker.
Greg, I missed Rick Sutcliffe. I'm ashamed.
Oh, he was. I thought he was a football. I never watched him play. That was just from like footage and stuff like that. So that's why I know that.
After tonight.
No, we need the glorified fact checker to confirm these details. So I never knew Jack McDowell wore 40. I thought it was 29. So the pages do not lie. Bulls, I have no idea.
I have no idea on the
Bears
Bulls.
Is obvious. So
I have for Bears, Gale Sayers.
Yep, that's the one I had. Yeah, it's also retired for him.
Yeah.
Yep. Bulls, Dave Corzine. You guys remember him?
No.
He played from 1983 to 1989. So
I had no memory of that one at all.
Well, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you guys weren't even really born yet, were you?
I had to throw them in there.
Nope.
Yeah. Nice. All right, cool.
Those are the 40s.
Well done. We are now going to switch gears. We usually do we got our text line and our email, tweets, and YouTube comments. So if you want to text us, you can text us at 913-808-3278, or that number again is 913-808-FART.
Excuse me.
This soundboard is amazing, Vinny. But we have plenty of YouTube comments, emails, and tweets. So, Greg, take it away. Tell us what the listeners are saying these days.
Well, we have a new subscriber, and guess who? It's our own partner employer, Belly.
Our own employer, yeah.
All right, so they finally decided to subscribe to their subordinate. So, thank you, boss.
Yes,
appreciate it.
Hey.
So that was technically our 73rd subscriber, but we remain at 72.
Oh,
apparently.
We lost somebody.
Did we lose someone? So probably the guy lambasted last week for asking innocent questions and seeking answers. And
our antics have gotten to people.
Just put him to shame. So sorry, Coyote 9610 or whoever you are. Come back to us, please. Alice Moore commented on YouTube. Respectful content It would be nice to attract new audience viewers. Try Utify some of my channels has blossomed after using it.
What the hell is going on?
Alice Moore, I'm not quite sure what that is supposed to mean.
That had to be a bot
Justin,
that wrote that.
Justin, can you as a teacher, can you process it? Is that a human being behind there?
No,
or?
that sounds like something that was written by a computer. Respect for content. So. Yeah, it would be nice to attract new audience. Yeah, that's totally written by some algorithm, and I don't know what Utify is.
Utify is some kind of software that is for YouTube promotion and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
then that's definitely some type of bot. Yeah,
it's the same people behind Arcade 1-Ups. It has to be. So.
they were on notice after we mentioned them.
Yeah, pretty much. Now they're after us.
Yeah,
so.
They want us bad.
Justin, your wife commented on YouTube. I think she ranked the 5 Always Sunny episodes we did last week.
Yes.
So if you haven't listened to that episode, please go check it out. It was a lot of fun. But her number 5 was Hero or Hate Crime. Number 4 was The Gang Buys a Boat because of the implication. What was that?
That was when he was saying, Dennis was saying he was going to take women out onto his boat and they'd have to sleep with him because of the implication. But he was never going to hurt them. He made that very clear. But yeah.
Gotcha. Number 3, Charlie Work. Number 2, Mac is a serial killer. I love the ending and Dee and Dennis stalking the waitress in a clown and painter outfit. Oh, also the neighbor / serial killer is the principal in Wizards of Waverly Place. Is that the Disney show?
Yes, it is.
Okay. That's like Selena Gomez, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think my sisters watched that show.
Maybe. I know Erica.
That show
Erica
sounds
was,
very.
She
very
was still
familiar.
watching it when we started dating in 2009. So.
And the number 1 episode is Sweet D is dating a person, probably in my top 3 fave episodes in the entire series. Very nice. Greg, half those facts were yours. Don't give me credit for them all. Actually, I'm pretty sure most of them were yours. I just did the questions and some of the trivia. So you get full producer credits on that, Erica. Also, the little looking into I couldn't find which boat was Danny DeVito's, the one they set on fire or the nice one. I think you guys attested to saying maybe it was the nice one.
Assuming it was the nice boat. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
And Erica continues, for the record, I never once told Jay he couldn't buy something. I'm usually trying to convince him to buy it. What was it? Was that your?
That was the arcade console.
Machine?
Yeah. I see. She doesn't care what I buy. We still have separate accounts, and we've been married for almost 10 years.
You're a lucky man. Buy that thing.
Yeah, we still have our separate bank accounts. We never joined our bank accounts, and it works for us. But no, I always feel guilty making huge purchases and not running it by her. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Is that a thing? Yeah. So and then and I also have immediate buyer's remorse whenever I buy something. It's like, oh, I didn't really need that, and then I feel guilty. So
when I bought my PS5, I ran it by my wife, but I already had purchased it, so it was more of a forgiveness thing. I'm like, oh, by the way, it's coming because it was once in a lifetime opportunity. It was like winning the lottery at that point.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than what's how that
permission.
Permission. Thank you. Yeah. My brain is fried today. Yes. So no, to her credit, she doesn't care what I buy, but I always feel like I have to like run it by her and justify like, hey, this would be really cool to have. So that's it.
You're a lucky man.
I am. She's awesome.
Glucosamine Chondroidian commented, I haven't watched It's Always Sunny in a long time. This makes me want to watch it. That's full credit to you boys right there and showing your passion and love for
Great show.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So well done to the both of you. Zach, on the Facebook page, I was listening to David Cohn's podcast, Towing the Slab, which I believe is part of the John Boy Media Network, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And he mentioned former White Sox pitcher Jack McDowell being in a band. I found one of the songs on YouTube, Prodigal by View. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet, but yeah, View is the band name, Prodigal's the song, and they have like their album art. It's kind of like a 90s, 80s retro looking album cover of them, like in an old photo staring at the camera. So check that out. Yeah.
Interesting.
What's that, Vinny?
Did his band make anybody's list?
No, they did not.
It might have if I had known it existed before I read that, but maybe I have to go check it out and we'll revisit this, but probably not. So, guys, there was some, I know, Justin, you mentioned before the MLB lockout and all its terribleness and awfulness and makes me want to destroy everything in the world. But my biggest concern, obviously, was the possible delay or possible non-release of MLB The Show 22, which is the video game I live for in the springtime.
This is true.
Looking forward to that has pretty much getting me through the winters of waking up at 3 a.m. and going to shovel snow or snow plow parking lots. Anyway, so I've been buying this game for a long time, and I was concerned about that because of, it's an MLB licensed product. But I did find out, or I did read an article the other day, MLB The Show 22's release date will not be delayed, according to an ABC News report. We can all breathe a sigh of relief, mainly me. The report stated, notably, the MLB The Show, the video game, has a licensing deal for player name, image, and likeness rights that exist outside the CBA. So its spring release won't be affected, the league said. So, teaser trailer could be less than a week away. If you remember, last year, 21 was formally announced February 1st, along with the Fernando Tatis cover reveal. They want to drop it on a Monday. It could be as soon as January 31st, this coming Monday. It still has an expected release date of April 19th. So we are on track for this game. I know this is huge for me, not so much for you guys, but Justin, I know you're a show guy once in a while.
I dip in my toe a little bit every once in a while. Yeah, every couple of years.
I know you've been circling around 21 for a little bit, maybe waiting for a sale. Obviously some big thing now that you're a PS5 owner, you can get the updated version, the 60 FPS, all the new features and everything. So maybe something on your radar a little bit. Maybe they do something more.
I think I'll wait and see if there's a bunch of extra features or if there's any new features being added. If there's not, I'll go with the old one, but I'll probably go with the new one just because it's new. But I haven't had a baseball game since 2019, I think.
So since 19, I think the last one you got.
So I'm due for a new one. So yeah, and now with the PS5, I'll probably end up picking that up. That might be the only baseball we get for a while. So I'll be watching the computer play games.
It might be. Just start simming games.
That would be really the only Cubs games I could watch this season anyway, even if they are
pretty
back
much
on.
You can watch Stroman. You can actually watch Stroman take some sort of mound on, some sort of television.
Yeah.
But Justin, I know what you like in video games. I hope they do more with custom leagues.
Yeah.
Which they haven't touched in a couple of years. I think that is your jam right there.
That and presentation. I want good presentation.
You want good presentation, especially your big NBA 2K22 guy.
Oh my God,
so
that
the
game
bar
is so
is
good.
set very high for you. So maybe one day NBA 2K22 will be mine because Justin may start selling his games at Greg Stop before he does at GameStop. That is right. Justin does sell his video games back to GameStop when he wants something new.
Okay, so I do have a rule about what games I sell back to GameStop. Are you ready for my rule?
I'm ready for the rules.
You guys are going to laugh at. Well, there's only one. I do not sell back games that people bought me for gifts or for Christmas or birthday presents.
Okay.
What an honorable man.
I am an honorable guy. And so
like this.
Even if it wasn't that great, I still keep it because I feel like that person took the time to buy it for me. I'm going to keep it and maybe I'll give it another go next time. But if I bought it for myself, it's fair game. Yeah. Or I could just be bad. I'm old. I can't play games anymore. So yeah, that's my one rule. So if it's a game I buy for myself, though, then it's free range to trade it in or sell it or get rid of it. So Greg, if you really want Call of Duty Vanguard, I just looked it up. It's 20. Okay, this is weird. The PS5 version is going for 22 at GameStop trade-in value, and the PS4 version is going for 24. I don't know how that works, but so yeah, if you want it for $22, it can be had. It is yours.
Vinny, can we get another JW Pepper?
Sure, why not?
What the hell is going on?
So Justin, I take it. I wanted to ask you. So what are you're obviously looking. You bought Vanguard for yourself, right?
Yeah, I liked it. I put in like probably 10 hours of multiplayer. I think I played the first level of the single player. It seemed okay because I like World War II games, but Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty World War II from like 3-4 years ago are both better games. But the online's good. I have so many other games to play, and now that I have a baby that doesn't let me play games very often,
The backlog is
growing. Yeah, so I'm lucky if I can get like 1 or 2 games of 2K in throughout a week. So, but yeah, so if you want it, let me know. But I feel guilty selling it to a family member. I should just give it to you. I feel horrible doing that.
I am willingly here to give you the money for it, and as long as it's in good condition, Justin.
Nobody touches my stuff.
I know it's got to look good on my shelf right there. And you were looking at you're eyeballing a couple other things. So.
Yes, Gran Turismo 7. I'm definitely going to buy that. And then
that's all you. Elden
Ring. I'll definitely buy eventually, but I still got to beat Demon Souls, and those are pretty much the same game. So once I beat that, then I'll look at that. Which at this point could be like another 6 months, probably. I don't know whenever Maddie moves out of the house, then I'll have time.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 months. That's way too soon. So
my game time is now like Saturdays and Sundays when Erica takes her to bed, and I have like a good hour and a half before I need to go to bed before I can wake up to get her ready for the next morning. So I have like an hour on, like maybe 2 hours a week to play now, and that is way less than I used to play. I'll put it that way.
All you get from now on.
Yeah.
Lastly, Justin, Pokemon Legend Arceus releases tomorrow.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Did you know those cards are like super popular again with middle schoolers?
Oh, I don't think they really ever died.
No, I had to tell the kids to put them away, and then they're like, "You played Pokemon cards?" Yeah, when I was your age and I was in 6th grade. Yes.
Yeah, when there were like 80 of them, and now there's like 9,000.
Gen 1, they're showing me all these Pokemon. I'm like, no. There's 150 Pokemon, and that's it. I don't care about all these extras. The original 150 or 151.
The original one, 121. That's right. Yeah.
So, it looked cool. I mean, I'm not the biggest Pokemon guy. I think the only one I ever played was Pokemon Blue, and then the one that came out for Switch like 3 or 4 years ago, I got into. So yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I don't have any time, and Nintendo games never go on sale. So.
No, they don't. So if you find one for like $48, like
that's a steal.
It's basically free. So so you went ahead and sent me a review because I was cooling off on it a little bit.
Yeah, so was I.
I think I can wait a little bit. And then Justin sent me a review. Hey, check this out. And then I'm like, oh no, it looks good. So now it's sitting in the cart with my finger hovering over the checkout button. So
there you go.
We will keep you posted on that. Moving on.
All right. We got our next segment. You want to get nuts. So we are going to talk about Marvel's Moon Knight trailer that dropped a week and a half ago or so. It's got Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke in it. The series follows Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee who becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. Stephen discovers he has a dissociative identity disorder and shares a body with mercenary Mark Spector.
No, stop getting Bond wrong!
As Stephen/Mark's enemies converge upon them, they must navigate their complex identities while thrust into a deadly mystery along the powerful gods of Egypt. I will admit, I don't know crap about Moon Knight, so this made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about Moon Knight either.
I kind of feel like they're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel a little bit. Like we're getting into some C-tier superheroes now, right? Or is it just me?
I just think they're just going for world domination with it. It looks dark. I know, Vinny. You and I, you definitely agree when you said it looks dark. So why don't you share us your take on it? Because you were pretty high on it, weren't you?
I did like it. Yeah, it looks very interesting and definitely different than most of the other types of superhero movies. When you're looking at like Iron Man and Thor and Spider-Man, it definitely looks a lot darker. It's going to be a series, right? Coming up here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks dark. The not being able to sleep and having blackouts and stuff like that. And I think at one point he's like going like full Batman, where he's just like on top of somebody, just punching him over and over and over again. Which is I mean, completely different than most other Marvel movies. So
Right.
I'm very excited to see where this goes. I'm like you guys. I don't know who Moon Knight is, but gotta love Oscar Isaac.
Yes, I do like Oscar Isaac.
I'm sure it's going to be again another good Marvel movie show.
They always make it entertaining. So
Moon Knight. I mean, maybe I'll watch. I didn't watch any of the Marvel shows yet. It kind of gave me like that Morbius vibe,
yeah.
Which I'll be honest,
Jared Leto.
I have no interest in seeing that because Jared Leto just like
Michael Keaton Vulture's in it.
Yeah, I said that would be the only reason I'd see because Jared Leto looks like he smells like all the time. Like
I'm sure he does smell
like and not well. And I don't know. Just he's weird dude, very weird dude. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Moon Knight will be worth watching.
Is 30 Seconds to Mars going to come up later at all?
Hell no.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Spoiler alert, no. I think that's it for our Want to Get Nuts segment. We do have the Extreme Cold Stove. There is nothing going on because the lockout rages on. I think the last I heard was that the MLB Players Union submitted a proposal to the owners. The owners declined. I want to say they wanted to raise the league minimum to $750. Does that sound about right?
$775.
And I believe the owners' rebuttal was 600,000 maybe.
I thought it was 650. I don't remember the numbers. Yeah, they're still far apart.
You know what? Things. I don't even care about that. Figure out the blackout stuff and get that in streaming rights and all that stuff organized, and then I'll.
Yes, please.
Yeah, they won't though. That's least on their mind.
No, they're a bunch of old, like 80-year-old men who don't understand how technology works these days, and those damn millennials, and they're never going to get this stuff figured out. So.
They're too busy buying NFTs or whatever that.
Oh my God. Can we talk about that for a second? That is the dumbest, stupidest thing ever. My NFTs are free when I right click save as a PNG file, and then I get to keep it as mine and it's mine forever. So I don't care that there's a serial number on it saying it's like custom made one of 250. Like that's so dumb. And it's all these celebrities pushing these things. I saw like Paris Hilton went on Jimmy Fallon and gave everyone custom NFTs that was in the audience the other day. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
She's still around.
Yeah. I think she just got married too. She's got a new show. So she's got to hawk that.
Geez.
Yeah, she's got NFTs. Yeah. So, all right. That's my old man rant for a second. We'll
love it.
We'll stop there. So, Greg, what do you got for us about the Southsiders, the Southside Hitmen, the White Sox?
Ah, fuck them.
Didn't they sign Colas though?
Other breaking news: water wet.
Shocking.
All right, I guess not.
Moving on to the Cubs. I know you guys got tons of Cub news.
Yeah, Rizzo's pushing the NFTs too. So, don't you want to go in on that?
No. At this point, that doesn't surprise me. No, we're not doing this. Is not turning into an NFT pod about our favorite NFTs, not our favorite non-fungible tokens. You know what though? Maybe we should start selling FTs, fungible tokens. We'll start autographing things and sending them to people.
There we go. Called baseball cards and memorabilia.
They're fungible. It's great.
I'll start sending out the thumbnails and stuff like that. Like there you go.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
I've already sold one to Jack Lugo. So look at that. My first,
custom made one of one
sale. Yeah.
Signed by Greg Probst. Oh man, we're sitting on a gold mine here.
I have that in an email somewhere, so it's one of two at least.
We do have we have some stuff. We had a write-in from Jack Lugo. Vinny or Greg, you guys want to read his message to us?
Sure. Jack Lugo contacted us on Twitter. He's our guy, Bond and Banner podcast. Definitely check out the 86 Mets episode we did. So obviously the Hall of Fame vote was a couple days ago. So Jack Lugo pretty much chimed in and said, so what's you and the guys' take on the Hall of Fame stuff? I'm wondering if maybe there needs to be a discussion about whether the Hall should be about achievement or morality. Is the Hall a place to... Sorry. My screen dropped out on me. You guys finish that up?
Yes.
Is
blacked out.
To venerate the players, or is it about their achievements. Maybe there's a way to acknowledge that certain players achieve greatness in the sport while acting immorally. Maybe not. I'm kind of torn. I was never a fan of Clemens or any of the players shut out this year, but at the same time, it's hard to deny that they were great. Plus, a lot of these players had a Hall of Fame career prior to the time we suspect they started juicing.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there.
No, that's all right. I'll give you guys my diatribe here, and then if you guys want to tell me if I'm wrong, that's fine. When they first retired, I was adamant that no, they should never be allowed in. I thought it was horrible. Whatever. You can say yes, half the league was doing it, whatever, but there's also a lot of people that weren't, and why punish them too? Nowadays, though, we're going on 15, almost 20 years now. I'll be honest, I just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter to me. In a perfect world, put them in a separate wing, but baseball can't get anything right to begin with. So, they're not going to get that right. I would accept Barry Bonds more than Roger Clemens. I don't know why, but I would. Roger Clemens is just a tool. But yeah, I don't care anymore. Put them in. The one thing, I know people say, oh, well, there's, it shouldn't matter about their character and all that. There is technically a morality clause, though, in the Hall of Fame voting. It says
part of the criteria.
Yeah. So the Hall of Fame morality clause states, and this is in quotes, the player's record, playing ability, integrity, sportsmanship, character, and contributions to the team on which he played. So I don't know, there's guys that used greenies and all that stuff in the Hall of Fame already. There's also guys that are horrible individuals that are already in the Hall of Fame already. I don't know. I have a hard time caring anymore about it. And I don't know quite why, but I don't know what your guys' take on all that is.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Okay. Cheating has been in baseball since the beginning of time. It's nothing new. Yes, they were taking steroids that kind of enhance, but there's also enhancements, the greenies and stuff like that. It's been going on in baseball. I don't get why now. I just feel like they were shut out and it blew out of proportion. Everybody's offended that, it's a bunch of old dudes who think that they have some kind of power. Some of them don't even care about this vote. No. I really don't think that the Hall of Fame matters. They got some so-so players that made it into the Hall of Fame. That you could question, should they actually be in? So a lot of it has to do with how nice guys were to the
media. Yeah.
And if Bonds was David Ortiz nice to the media, he probably gets in. David Ortiz is in, and there's questions about his past, and he, failed.
Yeah, he was linked. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't hit that type of home run numbers in Minnesota. That's for sure.
No, he did not. So, you can also make the argument, well, he never tested positive again, but there were a lot of guys that were getting around a lot of stuff and, passing those tests when they were using. So I don't care. I'm with you, Justin. They probably should be in, based on their achievements. Looking at the morally aspect, unless they're big pieces of crap or
which plenty are in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so he cheated, but again, like I said, cheating's been in baseball since the beginning of time. Everybody's trying to get an edge, and during that time, there was a blind eye from the commissioner that guys could take, and they did. And so you could also, the guys that didn't take, kudos to you guys. Some of those guys put up great numbers, like Frank Thomas, and they put up great numbers, and they're in the Hall of Fame. But everybody else, it was kind of a level playing field, so you still have to hit the ball. You still have to make the pitch, regardless of taking steroids. So that's still a hard thing to do. So yeah, I'm with you, Justin. I don't care. They probably should be in. I'm sure they'll get in probably after they're dead or
that's
one of these committees.
I will admit, though, as much as I've kind of just loosened my stance on this over the last 4 or 5 years, because before I was staunchly against letting them in, but the only one that I would say you cannot let in ever, because he knew that it was against the rules and they tried to clean up the game and he got caught multiple times, is my boy Alex Rodriguez, because there's no reason you specifically did what you weren't supposed to, especially after they cracked down on everything, and then you got caught and you were out for a whole season. Screw him. That's just my stance on it, because I don't like Alex Rodriguez, but that's it.
A little bit of fire from you, Justin.
A little passion. Yeah,
I am completely with you guys the same, and I'm definitely one that has gone back and forth with this, especially for someone who didn't really care about the steroid use early on, because baseball at that time was just fantastic to watch for me, and on the top of its game with Bonds, McGuire, Sosa. I mean, what a time to tune into baseball, and those guys were celebrities. Nowadays, if you saw Mike Trout walking down the street, no one would know who he was pretty much. But like you, I'm kind of glad it's over, at least with the writers' vote. We can kind of put it to rest. I did not think they would get in. I know many people did, and I'm to take the positive side with this, because you guys pretty much said the stuff I was going to say. I'm happy for David Ortiz. He was a fun player. Not really a Red Sox guy either way, but a guy I appreciated, and a guy that was, that made baseball entertaining. And I kind of wish it was more about him rather than the other guys. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, but congrats to him. And I will say too that I think Scott Rowland and Todd Helton are kind of on track here because of their increase in votes. So we'll see how they where they kind of come in the upcoming years and kind of see where that goes. So, and I know you're a big advocate for Billy Wagner too, Justin.
He deserves to be in.
So I think it'll happen. We'll see. Yeah, but it's going to be close. So.
Yeah, I mean, the only other two guys in particular that I don't want to see get in, and first of all, I don't care what people's politics are, or whatever. I mean, I probably disagree with most of Curt Schilling, but whatever. It's a free country. You can believe what you want. The thing I don't like about him, though, is he's pushing a bunch of QAnon conspiracies now, too, which you want to go down a rabbit hole. Those are some messed up people. I think that's pretty safe to say. We're not blowing the doors open on anything there, but that kind of creeps me out a little bit when he's pushing all these conspiracy theories, and those people are freaks.
Did Kennedy come back? Because that was one of the reincarnate and take over.
Yeah, JFK Jr. I thought he died in a plane crash, but apparently I'm not in the cult. So, so that's one. And the other guy, go ahead, Vinny. What were you gonna say?
I thought it was his dad. Because
was it him? Was it the dad? Was it or JFK? JFK in general? I thought it was JFK
president.
They're going to Dallas. I thought I remembered that they were going to Dallas because I started reading on the story because I just thought it was absolutely.
Oh my god!
A bunch of right-wing Republicans that were going to be waiting for their savior, which was a Democrat. So
yeah, I didn't understand that either. But again, whatever you want to believe politically, that's fine. It's none of my business. But when you start pushing these really like creepy theories about child pedophilia and there was one theory he endorsed about something about Miley Cyrus being forced to perform in the way she does and not wanting to. It was like, it got really weird really quickly. So yeah, screw that. If you're involved in like that kind of stuff, I don't think you belong there. And then the other one, Omar Vizquel, I don't think he was a Hall of Famer to begin with. And now all that assault stuff that's been brought up against him.
Oh yeah.
Screw that guy too.
Right.
But that's it. The rest of them, I mean, I feel like you can be an asshole. You can be a bad person in general, but there's also a line that once you cross that, it's like, yeah, you're more than just a bad a jerk now. Yeah. Even if you were a jerk to the media, it goes above and beyond in that point. But that's all I'll say about that. So
well said.
All right. We got our hot segments, not the monsters of the Midway, but the manures of the Midway.
Oh yeah.
Right. Do you have the soundboard clip?
Oh, no.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. Vinny, tell us, you're our Bears expert here. You are the Hub Arkish of the podcast. So please tell us. We have a surprise guest. Pretzel Vince is here. Pretzel Vince, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So
hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
All right. So Vinny, you want to talk with your dad about the Bears?
Oh, sure. I'm not sure if you're aware of this because you're old and you don't know how to use a lot of technology, but Ryan Poles, 36 years old, new GM of the Bears, former offensive line out of Boston College. He was an undrafted free agent, and he was with the Bears, but he then got cut by the Bears during that spring training. He was the executive of player personnel with Kansas City, and the Chiefs GM Veach's right hand. He survived 3 GMs at Kansas City, Petey, Dorsey, and Veach, and he was the finalist for the Giants and the Vikings job. Supposedly the Vikings were ready to make an offer to him, but he chose the Bears instead. So, everything I'm hearing about this guy, he's got a great attention to detail. He's a big up and comer. A lot of the Kansas City's beat reporters have said that he's going to be missed within the organization. So we'll see. Very young guy, but I think even though his name is very similar to the last GM, I think he's a different type of guy.
He is. There was an article in Sports Mockery, and it talked about how he fought for the Kansas City Chiefs to go ahead and draft their current right tackle. I think the guy's name is Trey Smith out of Tennessee. Big guy, good blocker. Rap on him was he didn't have long enough arms. And in the NFL, everything's cookie cutter. You got to, to play a certain position, you got to be this tall, this fast, this heavy, so forth and so on. And with Trey Smith, his only rap on him was he had short arms. And he fought to make sure that Trey Smith got drafted. Trey Smith got drafted in last year's draft, started all 17 games, and is doing a real good job. In fact, if you watch the playoffs, you'll get to see him play. So, this guy seems like he's got a lot on the ball, which is very, very good. Also, I heard coming out here to Greg's house tonight that when he was hired as the GM, he told the Bears he wanted to have the one-on-one interviews, the second interviews with Caldwell, Quinn, and Eberflus. And what? Eberflus, thank you. And Polian didn't like that.
Nope.
So I thought that was pretty good. That's what the Bears need. They really need a guy to take charge and be accountable and not just say what the Bears want to hear. So We'll see. Very, very encouraging. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, that report, I saw that from on Twitter from the Bears blog and Eric Lambert from Sports Mockery, and Matt Spiegel also confirmed it. But so Polian and George wanted Caldwell, Ted, and the rest wanted Quinn, and Poles went his own way and picked Eberflus, and that did not appease Bill Polian, but he can go and sell some books now that his job is done. So go sell some books.
I'm a little surprised because when George McCaskey had his debacle of a press conference a couple of weeks ago, he said about how he'd have the final say on everything. So I'm surprised that he didn't try and override Poles. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. He's given his GM carte blanche to do what he wants, right? I mean,
maybe listen to the podcast and realize that, maybe I should give up the power because I don't know what I'm doing. 33 years of garbage from the organization. Maybe I should step aside and let somebody that actually knows what they're doing do their job.
I think you're giving him too much credit, Vinny.
Probably. And that's too much credit. But I don't know if you guys saw Eric Lambert from Sports Mockery tweeted out that Omar Khan, he was suspected to be a GM finalist for the Bears. He was actually was not interviewed for the GM position, but he was interviewed for Ted's position.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
And, Omar Khan is currently the VP of football and business admin with the Steelers, and he's also been the director of football administrations and the football administrative coordinator for the Steelers. So he's been in the Steelers organization for quite a long time. So this would be an amazing hire. I saw a follow-up tweet from Eric that this isn't going to affect this year. It might be a year down the road, but that the fact that they're looking to replace Ted or fill Ted's role, if they're going to just make him be completely financial guy, is exciting. And I'm curious if this lines up with them moving to Arlington Heights because Ted's going to be too busy with the finance of adding, building the stadium and doing all of that work, because that seemed like from George's press conference that's going to be a lot of Ted's work going forward, is looking at that sale of the property that the Bears are looking to purchase. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah, you might be right that Ted's going to be tied up with, financing the stadium and building and involved with building it. But there's also scuttlebutt that he's getting older. I don't know, what is he, 65, 66, something up there. So he's getting ready to retire. So it might be a good time to transition somebody new in, push Ted off to let him do his financial thing, get the stadium built, and then he can go out in a blaze of glory.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that is encouraging. I know, Vince and you and I talked about Polian, and I was worried that he might try to steer things towards the Colts. And it was very refreshing to hear that he doesn't have that kind of control. Of course, he had when they got Ryan Pace.
Oh.
That was a big, Mickey Loomis, who's part of the Saints organization, is good friends with Ted Phillips. And of course, he was good friends with Sean Payton. Sean Payton really pushed to have Ryan Pace hired. And that was my concern with this. When you get somebody like Polian, who's a good guy, I'm not going to say anything bad about him, but you just kind of get, after it happens once, you kind of get a little nervous about, is it going to happen again?
Yep.
And it looks like the guy's his own man. He's not going to let anybody push him around. So that's, again, a good thing. Another thing I just read, which you're not going to be too happy about, Vince, is Eberflus. Eberflus is going to have the Bears play to cover 2.
Yes, I saw that. I've heard that all day, that he's a Tampa 2 guy.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll have variations on it, and it's not going to be what it was back when Lovey brought it in the mid 2000s, early 2000s.
Yep. Everything I've heard, that's his base. He doesn't necessarily stick to that. So yeah, he's a disciple of Rod Marinelli. He was the Colts, since we're on the topic of Matt Eberflus, was the Colts defensive coordinator in 2020 and 21. His defensive ranks, total defense was 8th in 2020 and 16th in 2021. The scoring defense ranks was 10th in 2020 and 9th in 2021. So that'll be refreshing if he can instill that and bring that to Chicago, because scoring defense hasn't been here since I guess the one season with Vic Fangio and Matt Nagy. So it'll be interesting. He's never had a head coaching job, so that's interesting. But again, it only takes one time for him to get it right. I've heard his name listening on the radio. There, people in Indianapolis are, again, a lot of people in that organization, the beat writers, are high on him. Again, he needs to lead the team. He needs to be in charge. I don't care about the philosophy. I know a lot of people today on Twitter were upset that, they didn't get an offensive guy. They should have got an offensive guy. I don't care about that. Just get the right guy. That's what matters. It doesn't matter the position that they coach. Granted, yes, you can have an offensive coordinator that can leave because they're become a hot candidate. But as long as you have a system in place to have the next guy up, that shouldn't matter. Granted, we've never really had that in Chicago when we've had defensive guys. So again, he's got to get the offensive coordinator job right. There's a lot of names that are thrown out there. It'll be interesting. One thing I didn't like that I heard was that Poles and Eberflus had a connection through their agent and kind of have been talking. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is, I'm speculating, which is I shouldn't be doing, but they talk and they like each other. Well, if I get this job, then I'll bring you along. But I would have liked to have seen him maybe interview a couple more of his candidates. But if this was his guy all along, Poles' guy all along, then more power to him that he had that conviction to pull the trigger on it. So we'll see. I'm excited about it just because it's a fresh start. I'm not going to bash Matt Eberflus or Ryan Poles, or as some caller on the score said, ever lose. It butchered his
Yeah, I heard that.
That was ridiculous. But classic Bears meatheads. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It'll be interesting to see what happens and what staff he brings. That's going to be another exciting thing, is to see what his staff's going to end up looking like, offense and defense. So,
you're talking about the GM and the coach having a little relationship there through their agent. According to what I heard today on the radio, the Bears asked each coaching candidate or GM candidate, who would you like as a coach? Give us your top 3 picks. And the candidates did. And the Bears, those are the coaches the Bears interviewed, were the GM candidates, their favorite guys. So, maybe there is a tie there. I don't know. The important thing, though, is, do the right thing. You're a defensive guy. Don't think you're going to run the whole ship. You're get somebody that can steer it on the offensive side. That's the important thing. And the other thing is, who's going to be the quarterback coach?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, to help develop Justin Fields, who I think has a lot of potential. I just don't think that he was given a fair shot with the Bears, with Nagy. When you hear things down the road, or I shouldn't say down the road, but when you hear things about what happened in a training camp where this is my number 2 quarterback, Justin Fields, but he doesn't get any reps with the first string.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to happen when your first string quarterback goes down? Just what happened? What was it in Cleveland, where it was just a massacre? Well, that makes sense. It's not like this Justin Fields was a total, idiot out there. He just didn't have the reps and the feel for what was going on there with the first string. So again,
for a head coach.
Yeah. And the one thing I'll bring up, a guy that you never saw coach, was Don Shula. He was a coach, old school. We're going to run the ball. Won a Super Bowl running the ball. As things changed and he drafted Dan Marino, he changed his philosophy from running to passing. And he always, no matter what kind of talent he always had a team that competed, because he changed. He wasn't set in his ways of, well, we're going to run the ball. That's the way you play football, run the ball. No, he went with the talent he had. And I wish more coaches would do that, instead of getting in that rut of, this is what we're going to do. But I don't have the talent to do it, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Such as ex-Bear coach that we just got rid of.
Yeah, exactly.
Well done. Well said.
Yeah. And well, thanks a lot. This was, it was kind of interesting when I got the call from Greg to say, hey, would you like to be on? I said, sure. You have the old man screaming at clouds. What can I tell you?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
I can hear Greg laughing in the background.
Yeah. But no, I'm, to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to this. I'm kind of excited as a Bear fan. I will say this. I think a lot of Bear fans wanted the coach out of Green Bay. What was his name? Hackett?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah. The guy that got hired by Denver. I think they just want, it was the old, let's take one from the Packers. Let's get their coach, but the one thing to remember, who did that guy have playing quarterback for him? Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Aaron Rodgers would make all 3 of us look like good coaches if we were out there coaching. So we'll see what he's going to do in Denver. Now, I just read something this morning where they said that the Packers are going to go ahead and trade Rodgers. Okay, if that's true, and that he's going to go out to Denver just to stay with Hackett.
Interesting.
So if he does go out to Denver, he's probably going to make Hackett look good.
Division's wide open then too for the NFC North too.
Yes,
He leaves. Yeah.
Ridiculous for him to want to go out to Denver. Why would you leave the NFC North when you get 2 new GMs and 2 new coaches in a division that was already weak?
Why would he do what he did last year with, I'm not going to play for you guys. Nobody's asking me my input. What?
Power.
Right.
Power trip. That's all that guy likes is power trips.
Yep. Yeah. So, and, right now the Packers are saying all the right things. They're saying, we want him to come back, so forth and so on. So we'll see. But, again, he might just feel that he can't win it in Green Bay, so he's going to go out to Denver. I don't know.
Face Patrick Mahomes twice a year and Justin Herbert twice a year.
I'd love to see them steamroll him. That would be great.
Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins and whatever
the Bears throw out there that year. Yeah,
the Bears are throwing out there when Foles and
Glennon and
Glennon.
I think you're going to see a change though with the Bears. I think you're going to see Fields. This will be his second year. He's got a year under his belt. And as I said earlier, if they get a good quarterbacks coach and a good coordinator, I think as Bear fans, we're going to have an exciting season next year. And one last thing I want to say about the Colts defense. I rode those boys in fantasy league and they got me into the playoffs. So I love that coach.
Perfect.
Yep. Real quickly, before we move on here, what is the new head coach's name for the Bears?
Oh man, Vinny,
you're bad. You're
like a dog with a bone, man.
Ryan Plose.
What? No. Come on.
Let's see. It's spelled Polse. Poles.
Ryan Poles.
Poles. Okay.
And the new head coach for the Bears, what's his name?
Matt Eberflus.
No, Eberflus. Come on. That's okay. You and the other meatheads in Chicago. It's
it's my Chicago accent. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks for stopping on, Dad.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
That's awesome.
That was great.
That was good.
I had no idea he was visiting.
No, I didn't even know he was there.
Totally missed that one. I should know that.
Yeah, I was saying you should know where your dad's at all times, Vinny.
I know. No.
All right, there's the man of the hour. He's back. He's got his Blake Bortles jersey on. Greg Probst is back.
There you go. We had a little side guest booking over here.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say, Greg, you couldn't have held up like a sign with the phonic spelling of Matt Eberflus for. I guess you probably couldn't hear what we were asking him, but
no, I was out of sight. I was finishing my whatever list. So
there you go.
I was laughing. I was laughing on the side though, just listening to the pronunciation. So
awesome. All right,
like a good discussion though. We sounded pretty solid. I couldn't hear you guys, but
we were terrible on this end.
Oh,
yeah.
He was carrying us. We were awful.
Yeah, I would agree. We're talking about the Bears. It's going to be awful anyway. So, right? So, I mean, it comes with the territory. Speaking of also more mediocrity, the Blackhawks are used puck bag segments with hockey. They are mired in mediocrity. They are 5-3-1 in their last 9. No, wait a minute. That's not right. Hold on. They are 5-3-2 in their last 10. They are 7 points out of the last wild card spot. So they've definitely improved since their awful start. They're not going to get in the playoffs though. And reports are that at this trade deadline, they are telling teams that every single Chicago Blackhawk is on the table for trades. So sell. And I'll be honest, I love what Taves and Kane did. And there's no reason to keep anybody around. The team needs to restart, rebuild, break it down, start over. The only one that I would be kind of disappointed to see go is Alex DeBrincat. He's a pretty good young rookie. Not rookie. He's been in the league for 3 years now, but he's the goods. He's a good player. So that's the only one I'd see hate to go. But the rest, there's no reason to keep any of these guys around. They're all too old. They're not going to be around for another run anytime soon. So that's it for the hockey.
I saw something on Twitter, Justin.
Yes.
NHL 22 is now featuring the IAFH women's national teams now available to play. I know. Yeah. You say every year you're never buying an NHL game again because they don't do anything work into it, and you are not wrong. But you held up with this one.
I held up, 22, and I had 21. I traded that back in. But yeah, 22.
Not to Greg Stop.
Not to Greg Stop. That was to GameStop.
Okay.
But no, I've been toying with the idea. I think it's like a $34. If it hits 30 or 25, I'd probably pick it up just to play online multiplayer against other people. Having the Olympic stuff in with the women's teams and the men's teams is pretty cool. They also have the real jerseys this time because usually EA cheaps out and they just stick the flag on the jersey and it looks like garbage.
Yep.
But no, I think it's cool to see them growing the game, including the women's stuff, the women's teams. There's a lot of women's hockey players out there, and women's hockey is really enjoyable to watch. It's really competitive. It's really skillful.
Your daughter one day.
I'm hoping one day if she chooses to get into sports, I would love to see her do that. I'm not going to force her, but if she wants to. And I know NBA 2K did something similar. They have the entire WNBA league is in 2K now too, which is pretty cool. Like I know there was a ton of people that got so upset about why are you putting these women teams in our game? It's like it's basketball or it's hockey. Like why? Yeah. Out of all the things to get upset about, trying to grow the game, whether it's basketball or hockey, and have more fans and more eyes on the game, like why is that a bad thing? But that's just me. I don't know.
Can I actually mention something on that, Justin? It was actually NBA Live 19 was the first game.
Was it really?
The WNBA, and 2K actually copied that from NBA Live, which has not existed since 2019. So how about that? They kind of pioneered that, and then they disappeared because
they took it. Yeah,
they couldn't keep pace with 2K simulation. So it was.
See, I don't know. I've been toying with picking it up to play just one-on-one multiplayer because it would take like 10, 15 minutes to get through a game. But So we'll see. That definitely, I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea. So we'll see. All right. Well, that's it. The first segment of baseball and whatever is over. I'm going to throw it now to our whatever segment, top 5 bands. Greg, take it away.
Thank you, Justin. How are you, gentlemen? Welcome to Whatever, Baseball and Whatever, of course, where we will be ranking. We are returning to top 5. No slime 5 this week. Back to top 5. And this was a doozy. This was a big one. Top 5 bands. Top 5 bands, not individual solo artists. Am I correct, Vinny? Can you clear up the criteria for us?
Yeah, I did. It was either groups or bands.
Groups or bands.
Justin tweeted out bands, but I think groups is
same thing
there. Because yes, the number 5 on my list is not technically a band. So
okay, so if I have O-Town on my list, we're okay, right?
Out of all the boy bands, that's the one you pull as O-Town?
The one of the where they have the one hit or
what
whatever.
What about Soul Decision? Where do you stand on Soul Decision?
Oh, guy.
Do you remember them? They had one song on MTV.
I do remember.
Have one song.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Well, the Backstreet Boys
and NSYNC. 98 Degree. I never got into 90. Well, I never got into any of the boy bands. What am I talking about?
That was Nick Lachey, right? No, I never.
There's one Backstreet Boys song I like, and that's about it.
Which one is that?
Backstreet's Back.
All right.
It's a good song. Okay. Good music video, too. All right, Greg.
Okay, like I said, welcome to top 5 bands. Let's start ranking them. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Vinny wants to go first.
Away,
He's
Vinny.
excited. This was his idea. Vinny, we kick it off with number 5 for Vinny.
Number 5 for me is NWA. I'm not going to say what the name means. Yes. This rap group, love them. I was big into them in high school. I think I knew every word to "I Ain't the One" by my senior year in high school, and I would try to rap it, but I would definitely be singing that. Sometimes I still do in my head. But "Express Yourself" is another great song. Obviously, "Fuck the Police" is another great song.
Fuck the police.
They were instrumental to bringing, I guess, gangster rap, to the forefront. I still have not seen the biopic movie.
Neither have I. Wanted to.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Straight Outta Compton.
Really
Yeah. I've heard it was amazing.
But yeah, I have not finished that yet, or I've seen bits and pieces, but it looks really good. But yeah, that they're my number 5. Yeah, it's great. Too bad they couldn't last longer with all the infighting and all of that. But yep, number 5, NWA.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm shocked. I never knew you even listened to NWA, so that's awesome. Yeah. I'm learning things in real time here. My favorite NWA song, though, is actually one that was covered by a rock band, and that is "Boys in the Hood." Have you ever heard the Dynamite hack version of Boys in the Hood?
No.
Oh man,
I've never heard that.
It's like a really like not yacht rock, but like white boy rock version of it. You know, which is par for the course, but it's very slow and like chill. And for some reason, both my wife and my sister, we have like this fascination with that song, so much so that was the song my sister walked out to at the reception of our wedding, was Boys in the Hood. And the poor DJ was like, I can't find a part of the song that I can play in front of, 200 people that's not appropriate. But he managed, he got it done. So
look at that.
Who did the cover?
Dynamite Hack.
I don't know if I know them.
You need to check it out. It's good. Anytime that song comes on, I have to listen to it. What's that, Vinny?
Are they on Spotify?
I would hope so. Otherwise, I can send you the YouTube link later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll find it.
Highly recommend it. So yeah, good call, Vinny.
Justin, throwing it over to you, my friend.
All right. I've been in agony for the last 12 hours trying to figure out which was going to be my number 5.
How many bands are on number 5? Just so I can make room
hold on.
my
1, 2,
list
3,
here.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 honorable mentions for number 5.
Nice.
But I'm going to go with one, Chicago-based. Saw them in concert. Love them. Love the lead singer, even though he's crazy dude. And that is the one, the only, the Smashing Pumpkins. I love the Smashing Pumpkins.
I was wondering where that was going to show up.
And I know my other friend Greg right now, if he's listening, is screaming into his headphones because he hates them with a passion. He's like, "Why do you listen
them
to them
or Billy?"
I think it's both.
Billy Corgan. Okay.
I think or it might be more Billy. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. But
that tends to be the hatred is directed towards him.
He's just you know what? He's a strange dude. But he's a Cubs fan, so like that's his redeeming quality.
Hell of an artist. Hell of an artist.
So love them. 1979, one of my favorite songs. I think that was in my honorable mentions. Cherub Rock is a great song. I remember for a while, I think MLB on Fox used it as like their baseball promo song for like 04, 05. I don't know why, but yeah, great bands. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Love them, and they're a Chicago band, so I got to go with them.
Great call.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know how much you guys are going to learn about me from this list, but no, I'm saying this. I think mine's pretty predictable. So
okay. I didn't know there was James Bond bands.
Just get ready. Just wait to get to my honorable mentions. No, so I've been, shuffling around obviously back and forth. So I am going to go for my number 5 band is also a Chicago band, and they're a little bit more I think they kind of came into light in the 2000s. That's a band called Rise Against.
Oh yeah.
They actually, I believe they went to a Rolling Meadows high school, actually. So they kind of originated in the vicinity where I work. But they always had that, they always kind of had that rebel hardcore rock tone to their song. Everything, like Re-Education Through Labor is a big song that I love. Obviously, Savior was their big hit. But me, I'm a little bit more rock, alternative, 90s punk. That's my style of music, and anything that's rebellious or sticking it to the man is always gonna appeal to me. So Rise Against is my number 5 band for this.
Good song. They just had a new single like in the last 6 months that they've been playing on the radio nonstop. I can't remember what it's called now to save my life, but
I will say some of their around their 4th, 5th album. That's kind of like where I gravitate towards their music. So I gotta get back into them. But as far as the amount of songs that I have on my playlist by them, they definitely have to make my list because that's the songs I'm probably never going to skip. So plus they blasted FEMA for Help Is on the Way. So
nice. Nice. I like it.
All right. Enough about me. Let's get to Vinny and his number 4.
Number 4, Dave Matthews Band.
Very nice.
Their song one of was it What Would You Say made my top 5 for 90 songs. Got into them in college, like most white boys did. And they're just great. The range of different types of songs that they have are fantastic. In concert, they're amazing. Most of their stuff, if you listen to their station on Sirius XM, is pretty much their live concerts. I think if I remember correctly, because Pretzel Vince is also a big fan of Dave Matthews Band. They were like one of the few bands to allow people to bring in their own recording devices to record them while they were playing.
Wow.
That's why there's a lot of live music of them out there. So yeah, they're a great show, great concert, great band. So number 4, Dave Matthews Band.
Great call.
Good call. Well, to echo what Vinny just said, my number 4 is also Dave Matthews Band. This has been one. I think, Vinny, you're going to have to take me because it wouldn't be right without you. I've never seen Dave Matthews in concert, and that is like on one of my bucket list of concerts is I need to see them. So, yeah, I mean, I remember like in the mid 90s coming across their music, you know, like Vinny said, what would you say is probably one of my favorite songs by them? I love their drummer, Carter. Is it Carter Buford or Carter Beauford? I can't remember what his name is. But he's great. Crush is probably another one of my favorite songs. Ants Marching, Stay. I know the people listening, they're like, he's just saying a bunch of hits. Yeah,
you gotta
Gray Street. Love Gray Street. Two Step. I know. I got my grandma about this would have been 04, 05. She bought me the Central Park Concert Live album, which is phenomenal. If you want a live album by Dave Matthews, check out the Central Park concert. But there's a 22-minute version of Two Step, which is incredible. Like the guitar and the way it keeps going is great. I also have a really new appreciation for Stay, which as a kid, I didn't really care for that song, but I really like that song now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, those albums are albums I can put on like an actual album and just listen to the whole thing straight through and not skip anything. So to me, that makes it a good band because I didn't want to pick any like one hit wonders or anything like that. So yeah, Dave Matthews, number 4, Dave Matthews Band.
Good call. Look at you guys.
And they dropped a bunch of shit on people.
There you go.
So, not them. The bus driver. It wasn't their fault.
The bus driver did.
Wasn't their fault.
Rightfully so. We had it coming. My number 4, maybe this is a surprise for you guys. I don't know, but I'm taking you back to Louisiana swamp rock a little bit. And I'm going Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Ooh, CCR.
Late 60s, early 70s, solid swamp rock. My favorite song by them is probably a song called Up. Was it? Oh God, I don't even know the song, but Up Around the Bend.
Yes.
I think that guitar riff is just absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, Bad Moon is another good one. I know, Justin, when we went to the movie, we saw that the Moonfall trailer. They were playing
they're playing like
of that song, like this is the terrible cover of that, and that just unfortunately that just springs to mind now when I was going through a playlist of the band. So I'm like, oh God, what have they done to me? So
you know what's funny is I saw a commercial again for that movie and it looks horrible still, but now they're like pushing that it's not the moon moving on its own. There's some alien or monster pushing the moon. That was never discussed in the trailer, right?
I don't remember that. I don't know if I was.
I think blocked it out of your mind.
Yeah, unfortunately. So
that movie looks horrible. Yeah, looks horrible.
What's that?
So what are you guys even talking about?
You Justin, Vinny, look at Moonfall, the trailer from Moonfall.
It's a movie about the moon on a collision course with Earth.
Yes.
I was going to say, is that like moon pies, Greg?
Not
Not quite, but
quite. Not quite.
The point was Bad Moon was playing and it was just terrible, but pay no attention to that because CCR is legendary. They're a legendary rock band and they've got that great Southern sound to them and songs that I just truly enjoy anytime, any place. So you know what? They make my top 5 because they're amazing. So
yeah,
there you go.
Excellent.
Good call.
Thank you. And moving to you, VFJ4. What's your number 3?
Number 3, Led Zeppelin.
I like this list.
The hits that they have are just ridiculous. It goes on and on and on. I think if I put like on my old Apple iPod, would just put them on.
What are that?
Right. If I put that on random, like their artist on random, like every song, I don't think I skip hardly any of their songs. All of them are great. To me, they're the pinnacle of rock and roll. It doesn't get much better than them for that classic rock sound. And just the fact that was it when the levee breaks, they did that drumming in a stairwell, which is just ridiculous to have that foresight to do something so iconic like that. But yeah, Led Zeppelin, number 3.
That
Nice.
one of the guys I hung around with a lot in high school. We got really into Led Zeppelin, and we would play the Immigrant Song on repeat. And that was we would try and record it to make it our ringtone, just because that intro. And I think School of Rock with Jack Black had a lot to do with us getting into it, just because they were so into a lot. And Trampled Underfoot. Is that the other song that I know? Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of their stuff. I remember when I was in high school, I thought I was cool because I had a Led Zeppelin T-shirt for the concert of 1977, and I was like, yeah, I know the hits. I'm a big deal.
Was that the one with just was it a concert shirt?
Yeah, it's like the angel or whatever flying. I can't remember what it looks like, but yeah. So
that was one like they sold at Walmart, right?
This was Hot Topic, Vinny.
Hot Topic. Okay. There you go.
Oh,
come on. Nothing but the best.
That's funny what you said about Immigrant Song, because if you talk to a lot of kids now, that song kind of had a resurgence with the last Thor movie, because that was used in a lot of the promotion for it, and a lot of
great song.
Younger generation, were attracted to that. So I was like, hey, this is really good. What is this? And then, Led Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. Who are they? It's like, oh my God, really? But hey, you know what? It truly shows that bands like that can make timeless music.
Yeah, John Bonham was an amazing drummer. Holy cow.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very nice. Solid list so far. Justin.
All right.
You have
I don't think this 3. One's a surprise either.
Here comes O-Town. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, it's hold on. I'm looking through my iTunes. Gnarls Barkley. No, I'm kidding. I'm looking through my iTunes list right now. Coldplay. No.
I thought you were seriously. I'm like, okay.
Coldplay might have been on my honorable mentions. I have like all their albums.
Doesn't Family Guy constantly bash Coldplay?
Yeah, I haven't listened to them in a long time. All right, my number 3 though. One of my favorite bands.
Walk it back now, Justin.
Yeah, I can walk it back now. One of my favorite bands. Saw them in concert a couple of years ago at Wrigley. Love their lead singer. I'm reading his book right now, and that is the Foo Fighters. The Color and the Shape, I think that album came out in 95. I found that album finally in like 01, I think, when I was in high school, and I was like amazed. And just every single album is got hits on it, and it's got a lot of good not B-side stuff, but stuff that wasn't released to the radio stations. But man, can they put on a show? Like, they rock. And the fact that they got to be pushing mid-50s now, which is depressing. But
Grohl is getting old, man.
He's getting old, but he's awesome. Super interesting dude. If you ever read his book, it just came out last year. I'm a couple chapters in. And where was I going with this? Oh, and did you know that they made a movie? They made a horror movie that's coming out this year.
Did they really?
Look up the trailer. It's called Studio 666. It's going to be released to theaters. I told Erica I might actually go see this with her because it looks really weird.
There you go.
And it's them like recording in like a haunted cabin in the woods, and Dave Grohl turns into like a demon or something. So I did not know they could act, but
I thought a demon turned into Dave Grohl.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how it would go. But times like these, Monkey Wrench. Yeah. Monkey Wrench is a great song. Yes. Even their early stuff, like Walking After You, and Everlong is still my favorite. But
I think that's many people's favorite. I'm going to keep this going with you, Justin, because number 3 for me is also Foo Fighters. Haven't seen them in concert yet. I haven't been to as many concerts as you guys, but it would be awesome, obviously. And I was able to sneak in a Foo Fighters song at my wedding, which I know I've said many times. The song "Learn to Fly," which is one of my favorites, along with "Everlong" as well, and the ones you mentioned, Justin. But I think I mentioned before, but Dave Grohl was not actually a fan of that song.
No, you're right,
because he didn't believe in the spirit of it, I suppose, and Dickie Dunn maybe. But it's just one that I've always gravitated towards, and I really, really enjoy listening to. It's just such a beautifully written song. So, and it just sounds great. So, Foo Fighters can go down the playlist, can go down the albums, old, new. You will not find anything really that you will dislike. And Dave Grohl is just a genius musician, in my opinion.
Yeah, to be able to play as many instruments as he does.
Yeah.
I did see a meme the other day. It was like, man, this guy that's the lead singer of Foo Fighters looks just like the drummer from Nirvana.
That's great.
Is it? Yeah.
Really?
No way. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, these
All
damn
world
Gen
talent.
Z.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All world talent. So
But yeah,
very
Good call.
nice.
Good
Very
call.
nice. So we will move back to Vinny and go with his number 2.
Number 2 for me, Cake.
oh, good band.
Really?
Absolutely love their
Wow.
music. I can listen to the majority of their CDs beginning to end. All their songs are great. Just a unique style that they have. I don't even know how to really describe. It's kind of more on the rocky side. But yeah, they just got their songs are really, they have a lot of humor to them. Some of them do. But yeah, I love Cake. Guitar Mexico, those are great. All of their early CDs, front to back, you can listen to them. Yeah, I didn't really discover this band probably till I was out of college. To be honest, I think they popped up on a Pandora station, and I was like, "Wow, who's this group?" And yeah, ever since then, I've been just obsessed with their music and just love listening to it.
See, I feel like I only know a few of their songs. I mean, like the ones I like, I know and I've bought and listened to. Like Never There, I love that song. That's a great Cake song. Their cover of I Will Survive. Vinny, have you ever heard of that? That's a great cover. Like it's a great cover.
I don't know if I've ever heard that cover.
It's good. It's
okay.
Dare I say better than the original? I don't know. That might be blasphemy, but
yeah, kind of hard to say. But it is a good version. They also do a version of War Pigs too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
The Distance is a great song too. So.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Good call.
Good stuff.
Very good call.
Number 2 for you, Justin.
All right,
getting down the wire here.
We're getting down to the wire. I'm gonna go old school here. Not that old school. I don't know.
Anything like 2010.
We're going way back.
Now,
we're starting in the late 70s, early 80s here, and that is U2. I love.
There it is.
U2. Yep. Bono's a little goofy at times. The Edge. I mean, the fact that that's his name, The Edge, is pretty cool. They put on an amazing show. Their concert at Soldier Field I saw about a decade ago was incredible. Great stage presence, sounded just like their studio albums. I tend to fall more in line with their older stuff, like the 80s and 90s stuff, like I Will Follow and what am I thinking of here? Hold on, let me think. Where the Streets Have No Name. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Mysterious Ways. New Year's Day is a great song. I mean, there's some good stuff too in the earlier stuff. Beautiful Day was a cool song, and some of the songs from
Also In My Wedding.
I can't remember the name of that album now, but they're a really good band. They did a cover with Green Day, The Saints Are Coming. That was an incredible song too, if you've ever heard that.
Yes, thank you.
And
no one ever talks about that.
Yeah, it's a really good song. It's short too. It's only like 2 minutes, I think, but 3 minutes maybe. But yeah, and also one of my favorite music videos is Where the Streets Have No Name. They did a performance on top of a convenience mart in LA, kind of like the Beatles did back in the day. Mm-hmm. And the video was them setting up, and then they got shut down by the police, and they kept playing, they wouldn't come down. So pretty awesome video, classic, like nostalgic early 90s, late 80s stuff. So yeah, that's my number 2 is U2.
Great call. Did you like, I know you mentioned a lot of the 80s album. I always thought, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb from 2003 was actually pretty solid good. From one of their later albums. I'm not too familiar with the stuff they're doing more recently, but I remember that one kind of brought me back into my headphones a little bit.
Yeah, so. I mean, they had their singles album they put out probably a decade ago, and they had a couple new songs they released on there that were pretty good. Windows in the Sky is a really good newer. It's still like 10 years old. I still remember. Oh no, I think that was a different band. But yeah, they put on a great show. City of Blinding Lights is also a great song. That's from How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. Yeah, they're just one of my favorites. Just very chill rock music. So that's mine.
Awesome.
Number 2.
Great call. Mm-hmm. Number 2 for me, and the number 1 and 2 were locks for me almost instantly. We'll go with number 2 right here, and those are the Eagles, of course. One of my all-time favorite bands. I know they're even in concert coming up soon. I think they're in UC or whatever with some other bands, maybe. Obviously, Glenn Frey passed, R.I.P. The original lead singer of the group and, all-time member pretty much. But I think it was their greatest hits was their first hits album released in 1976, I believe it was. And it's still the highest selling album in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, right behind Michael Jackson album. And that was an album my dad or my uncle had, and I got a hold to as I got a hold of as a kid. And that music, because I was just listening to, whatever I was listening to at the time, probably the rest of the stuff on my list, not bashing that, of course, but that music really, really stood out to me. And I thought the easy, tones of like Take It Easy. And then there's obviously Don Henley with Hotel California, and my favorite song, Already Gone, which I just, love those little guitar riffs in there, that kind of it's a little country rock, little of that in there, but it's just so extremely well done. And that song to tie this into a baseball a little bit, when Mike Quaddy was manager of the Cubs, that was almost his theme song on the radio, because you knew he was getting fired. So every time they mentioned his name, at least on the weekends, it would be Already Gone by the Eagles playing behind him. But another band where I could go through, I have I even have it on display right here. I got the very best of right there. One of my favorite, 2-part CDs. Every song on that list, I could listen to. Even their Christmas song on there didn't make my worst Christmas song list. So there you go. That's my number 2, the Eagles. I had a long fucking day, and I hate the fucking Eagles. Only I love them. So
nice, Greg.
What is that? Office Space, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that, was it during Take It Easy? That's actually the kind of the harmony part. It's the one guy, the lead singer, but they recorded it numerous times.
So it's just him kind of like overlapped with himself.
That's what I was told during my music class in college. That it wasn't the band, it was him, and they had recorded it. His voice over to harmonize with themselves. At least that's what I was told.
That's interesting. Well, I've seen a couple live studio videos and recordings of that song, and that's when Henley and Bernie Ledden and Randy Meisner were all doing. They're the original members. But that's interesting. I'll have to go back and listen to that, because I never picked up on that.
The teacher, I could have misremembered, or the teacher was just full of it.
Yeah,
the guy was kind of pompous, but but I'm pretty sure that's what had happened, because he had made a very weird gesture. We had listened to that song in class, so I wasn't going to complain about it. It was a great song.
Yeah.
But every time they would say "Take It Easy," he would go like this, and you can't see what I'm doing on the podcast if you're listening, but if you're watching, he would just go like this every time they would say "easy." And I just remember he would have like this goofy, ridiculous, crazy smile on his face whenever it would come up. So I remember that. But I could be wrong.
That's so strange. That's interesting, because I could almost swear you hear Don Henley, who was drumming at the time. This is one of those guys who could do lead vocals while drumming at the same time, like you do with Hotel California. But that's really interesting, actually. So I'll go back and listen to that. So they also had a great, this is like 7, 8, God, might even be 10 years ago now. They had a great, like almost 3-hour documentary of their careers and just the history of the band and everything. It was just learned so much from it, and some of the hostility going on right there, and all the members they had. So really, really interesting band. One that I'll always listen to. So
nice.
But enough about me. Let's move on to the number ones.
We read first?
Finalizing this, and we will go with Vinny, unless you guys want to read some listener comments first.
Let's read them.
Yeah,
let's read them. Let's go ahead before we get to our number ones right here. Kick us off, Vinny.
I'll start. Jack Lugo chimes in with his list. He has number 1, the Beatles. That was an honorable mention for me, and probably would have been on my top 5 if I was in high school. The Rolling Stones, another honorable mention for me. The Clash, the Ramones, the band. That one's slipping my mind. Do you guys remember the band?
I know if I heard some of their songs, I know of them, but
last of was it Ophelia? I think that's one of their songs.
Okay.
Great song. And then he had an honorable mention, the Eagles, Greg.
Yes.
All you
See,
Bond people think alike.
we do think alike. So look at that. It was meant to be from day one.
that's a good list. The Clash, Train in Vain is probably one of my favorite songs too. That's a great song.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Want to go? Want me to go next?
Go ahead, Justin. Go
All
ahead.
right,
I don't know
this-
which order we're going to go in here. So you pick.
I'll just go. We'll go left to right. The
right.
Slanter Show, I believe, is that a podcast on the Belly Up Sports Network with us?
Believe so.
Okay. They wrote in. They said number 5, Slipknot. Number 4, Cattle Decapitation. Number 3, the Black Dahlia Murder. Number 2, Pantera, and number 1, Metallica. Definitely hard rock band, I think. Right.
Yeah, a little bit of metal in there too. So I mean, oof, all right.
I feel
list.
guilty out of all the bands in the world. I hate Metallica. I hate them. I hate them so much.
Do you really?
I hate their music. I hate their songs.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
I don't like them. Yeah,
There's a
sorry.
lot on this list here, Justin. I think you're in the minority.
I know. Oh, I know. I'm in the minority. I remember in high school, I dated a girl that loved Metallica. Always had it on. And I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. No, I didn't know. But no, I listened to it for her. But I'm like, oh, God, this music. I don't like James Hetfield and Lars. Is it Lars Ulrich? Is that his name?
Mhm.
I don't like them. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, just
Right.
my thing. When I hear Enter Sandman, my heart just cringes. I'm like, oh, I hate this song. Anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead, Greg.
Did you try to sneak Desperado on her playlist at all?
No, I did not.
Oh man.
Maybe that would have worked.
Hey, woman.
That might have worked. Yeah, that might have worked.
Oh, that's such a great episode. Ryan McCarthy chimes in. Guys, help me out with number 5. Mute Math. Do we know? I don't know
anything
them.
about Mute. I feel like I'm out of touch with what the kids are listening to these days.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't set a date on them. That's interesting.
No.
That's something to look up. Alter Bridge, Metallica. There you go, Justin. Seven Dust and number 1, Demon Hunter.
Don't know them either.
Look at this list. Sounds dangerous, Ryan McCarthy. So
Yeah.
very
Cool.
nice.
All right. What do we got next?
Flores chimes in. He's he's part of the I feel bad for forgetting what their podcast is. It's a soccer one.
The unnamed sports.
The unnamed football
FC,
club.
Yeah,
Or insert
unnamed
name
FC.
football club.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yep. He chimes in. Number 5, 3 Days Grace. Number
Good
4,
call.
Foo Fighters. Number 3, Linkin Park. Number 2, Metallica. And number 1, Avenged Sevenfold.
Yep.
Nice. I do have a special place for Linkin Park in my heart. I remember I got. You guys are gonna laugh at this. I don't think I ever told you this story. In 8th grade, I had a birthday party, boy-girl party, and
Ooh.
yeah, it was a big deal. And one of the girls got me a Linkin Park shirt, and I think the Linkin Park CD, and said, "You should check this out. I think you would like this." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I like the CD barely worked by the time I got done because I listened to that CD so much. Like I was all in on Linkin Park in middle school and high school, so much so that I got a black Linkin Park T-shirt from where at, Greg?
From Hot Topic.
Yeah, I did.
Your
Then-
shopping center right
and then
there.
I had the spiky necklace. Like you guys remember those metal
Oh.
necklaces?
Yeah, I had a collection of those. Yeah, those were
I had
awesome.
those. And that was when I would gel my hair like straight up. And
The Justin we never knew.
yeah.
See, Justin, I'm gonna add on to this a little bit. You guys didn't know me when I had my cartilage spikes. So I had
Oh.
like those spikes going in, the top of my ears right here. And then I finally took those out and they closed up the next day. But I'm getting to the point where I can no longer pull off earrings, I suppose.
I think
But,
you should get gauges instead next time.
Oh
Greg.
yeah, I think maybe so, but that is I could see you wearing the spiky necklace.
Yeah,
spiking the
and
hair look.
then
were you painting your nails?
No,
too?
I didn't
Black
paint my nails. No. And then I
Black?
wore what's it? I wore a lot of black. I wore all band t-shirts until like sophomore year of high school. And then again, I started dating someone and they're like, yeah, you're going to stop wearing that. And they took me to American Eagle. And then I wore American Eagle clothes for the rest of my high school.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And I had a puka necklace instead of a spike necklace. Then I had the puka shell necklace.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
Yeah.
That
I
sounds
totally
like more
switched.
like the Justin that we all know and
Yeah.
love.
It
now
all
I'm like
came
a
back-
cross in
It all
between.
came back to earth, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no.
there you go.
So that's what
All right.
happened.
Yeah, that explains it. Brad, I think Brad was from the other podcast we mentioned. So I'm going to jump to Shayla's because Brad's is the same exact one as we just mentioned above. Shayla, our good friend from Sweet Time, she said number 5, Dead and Divine, which I unfortunately do not know. Number 4, her and I were talking about this, and I think Greg did too. Number 4 was Finger 11, which I only knew like 2 songs of theirs, which was Paralyzer and was it One Thing?
I only knew Paralyzer.
And I remember that was like 15 years ago. We would listen to that before our hockey games to pump us up. Like that was a jam. Like, yeah. And then, yeah,
go team.
Right?
Hat trick on 3,
quack,
1, 2,
quack,
3.
quack, quack.
It's not worth winning if you can't win big. Number 3. We need to get a soundboard on that, I think, Vinny.
Yes.
Big Wreck. Unfortunately, I've never heard of Big Wreck.
Shayla did say these were Canadian bands, kind of to finish off the list. So.
Number 2, Avenged Sevenfold. I know them because they had a song on one of the NHL soundtracks for EA's NHL game. And then number 1, Stone Temple Pilots, which is a good band. I do enjoy them.
Yep.
Awesome.
The song I think it's Big Bang Baby. It has an awesome guitar line or bass riff in it. I can't remember which, but good song. So there you go.
Very nice. Sean writes in, and you just to wrap up on Finger 11. Yeah, Paralyzer. I know I bashed that song.
Yeah, I know that was funny.
I hated when that song came on 101.9, which is the mix out here, which I used to listen.
Yeah,
to.
why were they playing that?
I don't know. That's the only like this one is. It was just overplayed. I think that's the reason.
Yes, it was.
But Shayla did say she did mention to check out Finger 11's first 3 albums. So I'm definitely gonna do that because she said that showed off more of their musical talents and vocal range. So I'll revisit that.
Yeah.
Sean writes in no particular order: AC/DC, Def Leppard, Journey, Skinny Lister. I thought I wanted to say Thin Lizzy for some reason.
Yeah, right.
And Flogging Molly. Any thoughts on those guys, Matt? That's a pretty solid list right there. Journey, our first Journey mention.
Journey's great. I like Journey.
AC/DC, honorable mention for
AC/DC. I used to run around the house as a kid singing TNT when I was little. So there you go.
That's awesome.
They got a lot of great songs.
And Dirty Deeds Done Cheap. Yeah.
There you
go. My mom loves it's the song from School of Rock. I think it's Long Way to the Top or Long Road to the Top.
Yeah.
I know she likes that song. So there you go.
Awesome.
All right.
Whose turn is it? Vinny's.
She had number 5, the Decemberists. They're good. Number 4, Thrice.
Yep.
Number 3, Manchester Orchestra. I'm guessing that's not an orchestra.
No. They're a more alternative rock band.
Yeah.
Okay. And then number 2, old 97s. And number 1, Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit. I don't know. Outside of Thrice and the Decemberists, I don't know the other 3.
I know Thrice and I have a few Manchester Orchestra songs on my iPod still that I listen to, but that's about it.
I don't know old 97s. I don't know who
I've heard a lot of good things about Jason Isbell. I know he's really popular. I have not gotten a chance to listen to any of his stuff though. So yeah. All right. My good friend, former colleague, he has since retired. He's a great guy. Glenn, he says, I have an old guy rant. Today's music doesn't even come close to mine. That's what he said.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
And I remember he was very emphatic about this when he still worked with me. Number 5, The Doors, which I can get down with The Doors. Number 4, Black Sabbath. Number 3, Pink Floyd. Number 2, Led Zeppelin. Yes, I'm 100% on that. In the first appearance, and I would support this as well. He is a huge fan of the band Chicago, which
this is a really solid list.
They have some good songs. They have some really good songs. You give me was it 25 to 6 to 4, I believe is one of their songs. Love that song. So thank you, Glenn. We appreciate the old guy rant. There you go.
Absolutely. Anytime for that. So we have the soundbite.
Yeah.
The Chicago band. There's a Russian band that does like straight covers of Chicago songs, and they're absolutely fantastic. I feel like it's a band full of like 12 plus people. You can find it on YouTube. I wish I'll
have to check that out.
I wish I would have checked out the name, but I'm sure if you just type in like Russian band Chicago. Cover, pop right up. But yeah, it's a fantastic listen. They're on YouTube. So yeah, if you like Chicago, give them a listen. They're fantastic.
Awesome.
Very nice. Kristen writes in no particular order, I suppose, or maybe Foo Fighters, Everclear, Pixies, Beatles, Dashboard Confessional.
Oh man, that's like speaking to like junior year of high school right there with Dashboard Confessionals.
Right, I haven't.
I am
that
vindicated.
In a very long,
oh man,
long time.
That was me like listening to that in my '98 Escort and then going home to watch the OC. That's what that reminds me of.
You watched the OC?
I did.
Oh man, hey
Really
Vinny,
good that one here.
Hey Vinny,
Wow.
can we get some Obi-Wan for Dashboard Confessional?
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Perfect.
And also
Me either, Obi-Wan.
Everclear was the trying to battle it out with Smashing Pumpkins for me. I love Everclear, great band. Is it Art Alexis? I think is his name, the lead singer. True story. I got really into Everclear in like 6th grade, and that sounds wrong. I got really into the band Everclear in 6th grade. I did not know it was an alcohol in 6th. That's going to get taken out of context somewhere.
Yep.
I got really into the band Everclear in 6th grade, and I still listen to a bunch of their stuff now. But I remember I was on a bowling team. We were on a Saturday bowling team, and we were trying to come up with a team name. And I was adamant our team name had to be Everclear after this band that I liked. And no one would agree with me. And then finally, I think it was either my mom or one of the other kids' moms was like, "Justin, you're not naming the band after an alcohol." I'm like, "No, it's a band. It's not an alcohol." And I did not get to name the team Everclear.
Oh,
so, yeah, there you go.
Justin.
I know I get shut down a lot when it comes to music stuff. I don't like it. So
Yeah, maybe that's a tell.
it could be. Our guy Chris, White Sox correspondent Chris, wrote in. He said Led Zeppelin, Linkin Park, Incubus. First time we've heard Incubus on the list.
There we go.
Good stuff there. Stained was another one I got really into in college. And Dave Matthews Band, also again, as we discussed, a classic.
Very nice.
All right. Let's see. Greg, is that you?
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
That's okay.
Linda, best concert ever, Chicago with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. I'm guessing several.
That sounds like a great show.
Yeah,
that does. That
Sounds like a
does.
great
Chicago
show.
Symphony Orchestra. I've actually seen them, and they're always solid down there at musical hall. So that would have been very, something about vocals in a live orchestra can really pack a punch. So I mean that's just
for sure.
that's just music, baby. So
all right,
continuing on, we've got a ton of correspondence.
We have a ton of correspondence.
Cow.
This is great. This is awesome.
Fantastic.
Marie writes in Chicago and the Beach Boys. Good list.
They're the Beach Boys.
Good call. All right. Greg and mine's mother-in-law and Vinny's mom wrote in Lynn. She said Queen, Beach Boys, Chicago, the Backstreet Boys, and the Beatles. Good list there, I'd say.
Very nice. Backstreet Boys. Wow, I didn't know that.
I'm telling you, Backstreet's back.
Okay.
All right.
Is it my turn again?
It's your
I
turn
can't
again,
remember.
Greg.
Jeez, Carol writes in, wow, that's hard to say. Depends on the feel of the day. But if I had to choose, Queen, Fleetwood Mac, Rolling Stones, Journey, and David Bowie.
Good choice. Good list, too.
Look at that list. Solid
solid list, too.
David Bowie was almost a Bond villain, everyone.
Wow.
Does David Bowie technically? I don't think that counts.
You're going to veto that one because it's not
I'm going to have to veto that one. Sorry, Carol.
Carol is getting erased. Carol, we will need a 5th submission from you. Please recontact the podcast, baseballwhatever at gmail.com, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Yep.
All right.
That's all right. You don't make the rules. Sorry.
You just enforce them.
Yep. Robin chimes in. Number 5, the Beach Boys. It seems like the moms like the Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys, yeah.
The Grass Roots.
There we go.
Creed's band, right? Yeah.
Yep. They're
amazing.
Pretty good. Have you guys listened?
They
to
are.
them?
I do.
I have. Yeah, they're solid.
not bad.
Yep.
They're not
They're
bad.
solid.
Pretty good. Chicago, the Beatles, and the Monkees.
Oh, she
There
is
we
a
go.
huge Monkees fan.
Yeah.
On the
On the Beatles. That's true. They
Yeah.
did. Great. Good list.
Did your mom know of the Grassroots before The Office?
Yes, she did. Oh no, I remember her playing the Grassroots in when we were kids at home. I remember her playing that.
I think the song Rubber Tree is one of my favorite from them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Awesome.
This next list is awesome.
All right. Tony, my guy, he said this is based on the number of albums and the frequency of listening. So he's got a singer in there. So he gave us 6. He said 6, My Chemical Romance. If his singer doesn't count, number 5, A Day to Remember. 4, Need to Breathe. 3, Jimmy Eat World, which, yes, they are a great band. I thought I was such a badass in high school being able to play their songs on the drums. Which, I mean, I still am a badass. I just don't play the
I was
song.
going to say you were.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. I had their band shirt. Ben Rector. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And then number 1, this is another one, racing home to watch the OC, having Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue blasting in the background.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Fun, just in fact, one of my AIM screen names was Ocean Avenue 42 because I liked that song so much.
Wait, you had multiple screen names?
Oh, I changed my screen name like every month.
I was like, were you one of those guys, Justin? That
I'm the kind of guy that, like, when you're on a message board, I change my avatar picture all the time because I can never like concentrate on just one. Like, or you remember like AIM when you would change your profile icons? You guys remember that?
On AIM,
you go to like badassbuddy.com. I don't know if you guys remember that. And I would change my icon every day and people would get so pissed off at me. But yeah, there you go.
My screen name is also still my Xbox.
What is the origin? What does that mean anyway?
ZJ?
Yeah, what is that from?
ZJ stood for Zambrano Jr. when I was playing baseball. So that was my nickname in high school a little bit. So I just kind of rolled with it. So
I never. Okay, I was
the only Hispanic looking guy on the team. So of course they gravitated towards that. So that's the origin of those. That's awesome.
I never knew that. I was always wondering what that. I'm like, what are all those letters?
And Greg Sun was origined by this kid Ryo, RYO, who was a friend of mine in high school. He was from Japan, and out of respect, they'll call you your name and then -san. So it would be like Greg San. Mm-hmm. I turned that into Greg, but it sounded like Greg Sun. So I just that's how that
roll with it
happened. So
God, yeah.
Not that you needed to know all that, but there you go. There was my AIM screen name.
I had about 20 of them.
And my trashy girlfriend was Corona Baby 9669. So if that can tell you anything about Kirsten, so there you go. Pure white trash, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how to go from there.
I'll clean it up here. Right. That's too much blast from the past. Erica writes in, Queen, Panic at the Disco, awesome. Blink 182, an honorable mention. Old Blink with Tom. Limp Bizkit, no doubt, honorary mention because they are technically referred to as a band. LOL. Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's totally a band.
I had No Doubt on my honorable mention list. I wish they would bring another album out. Blink 182, I would agree with Tom DeLonge, even though he's a strange dude if you ever see his stuff on Twitter.
He's had vocal problems too.
Yes, he has.
He's unable to sing now, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I know Mark Hoppus, I believe, is in remission already.
Cancer survivor. So very good.
I don't know what she's talking about though with Limp Bizkit. They are horrible.
Not a Limp Bizkit guy. I never. No. Yeah, I
CDs growing up. And
really?
I unfortunately burned a bunch of them so I could listen to them too.
That's fair enough. Hey, everybody makes mistakes.
Some more than others.
I was going to say, you're talking to the guy who used to blast Yellow Card and Ocean Avenue in my car.
The drumming on Ocean Avenue is phenomenal.
It is. I would agree with that.
It is phenomenal drumming.
See, that's the reason I liked the song, and that's why I liked them so much. Their drumming was just good.
It is great. It is great drumming on that song.
All right. Is it my turn? Melissa wrote in. She said, Queen and No Doubt are totally on my list. U2 too. Older U2 especially. Melissa, I completely agree with you. Well said.
Very nice.
All right.
Ellen writes in, Beatles, Elton John, Eagles, Journey, Fleetwood Mac. I could list so many. Another solid list from Aunt Ellen right there.
Yeah, good call. All right.
Zach from Facebook. Is this Justin?
Yeah, this is our Zach that always writes in. So
chimes in. Municipal Waste, another killer thrash band that mixes in hardcore punk. Cypress Hill, I love B Real's voice and DJ Muggs producing. Siberian Meat Grinder. That sounds like a movie. Bad horror movie.
B-list movie.
Meat Grinder, crossover thrash band from Russia. They mix hardcore punk, thrash, and death metal, and are even influenced by hip hop. They sing about skateboarding, graffiti, and video games. Interesting.
I kind of want to check them out now. I kind of want to check them out.
Sounds like our.
Give them a listen.
Also, Justin, fun fact: I went through a skateboarding phase as well.
Oh, that I can see.
I didn't go to skate
sure.
parks. We built a ramp out of plywood, me and my buddy, and then we would try and launch ourselves off of it. So
I still have a longboard at work where
That's cool.
I'll run it down the corridor sometimes just for old time's sake. Yeah. So I won't kill myself, but
couldn't do anything besides ollie and manual. I never couldn't do it. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna ollie. Check this out.
I love that.
You just jumped.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right. Jaybird texted on the text.
Wait, no, he's not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not done. You're right. You got two more.
Zach also had Bridge City Sinners, folk punk band with dark lyrics, and Black Dahlia Murder, killer death metal band with tons of great albums.
How many of these bands have you heard of?
Zero.
I've heard of one.
Actually, I take that back. I've heard of oh shoot, I need to undo
Black Dahlia Murder.
I've heard of Black Dahlia Murder. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. Interesting.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Jaybird texted the hotline this afternoon. He said, first of all, he said OAR, and then his next text was Green Day, The Cars, Offspring, and does Johnny Cash count? If so, then that is the answer as well. I got into OAR too in high school.
OAR, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they're still around, but yeah. And Offspring,
he's OAR fan.
Was he? Offspring also good stuff. They still put out some decent songs too. They just had a new song a couple months ago.
Did they really? Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was decent. So, all right. And then we got the last, but certainly not least.
Take the last one, Vinny.
All right. Pretzel
That's your guy.
On the text line chimes in. Beach Boys, smooth harmonies, ZZ Top made blues fun. Rolling Stones made blues into rock and roll. Leonard Skinner improved the Southern rock sound, and the Beatles started the British invasion.
Was that our first Leonard Skinner mention?
I believe it was.
Amazing.
No, it wasn't Rolling Stones. Someone, I think, at the beginning.
Yeah, amazing.
Good call.
Yep.
Great list.
Good call. All right, well, we gotta go over our number ones now.
Our number ones. Are you ready?
Should we run down our other top four, since it's been a while now since we were jumping back in?
Sure.
All right.
I can do that. For
all right. Thank you.
Us. Vinny at number 5, NWA at number 4, Dave Matthews Band at number 3, Led Zeppelin number 2, Cake. Justin at number 5, Smashing Pumpkins, 4, Dave Matthews Band, 3, Foo Fighters, 2, U2.
This guy writing down stuff during the show, Vinny. He's a professional.
I'm taking my show notes, and then me. Do you guys remember my list because it's changed right about now?
Oh, I know the Eagles. The Eagles was on it.
No, so 2 I had Eagles, 3 I had Foo Fighters, 4 I had. Oh God, what I have it for?
Foo Fighters was Foo Fighters, the Eagles.
CCR.
CCR was 4. CCR was 4.
CCR was 4, and then 5 was Rise Against.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
I was getting those guys mixed up. So
all right,
there you go. There's our list. You guys want to do ones, or do you guys want to do honorable mentions at all? If you guys want to burn through, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Number 1, then kick us off, Vinny.
All right, number 1. This group I know neither of you two have heard of.
And he did mention this before, like our number 1 was. So I've been anxious to hear this, ladies and gentlemen.
This one is a group from 1961, started by Joe Sample on the piano, Wilton Felder on the tenor sax, Styx Hooper on the drum, and Wayne Henderson on the trombone. This is the jazz fusion group, the Crusaders.
Never heard of them.
The Crusaders. Okay.
Absolutely love this band. This is another one that I got into just recently. I think probably around the time the pandemic started, when I was able to start working from home and listening to Spotify again. They came up on this Discover Weekly, and I have to say that almost all their CDs and songs, I can just put that on and just work through the day, listen to their music. It's pretty much Desperado for me, but almost all their songs where I have to just sit there and just like just tune out and listen to their song. They do a cover of Blackbird, which was done famously by the Beatles, which is one of my favorite songs ever. And their version is probably 1A or 1B to
really
of that song. Yes, it's fantastic. But yeah, they cook and they hit like every fiber of my music soul. I absolutely
check them out.
Band. So
that's incredible.
It's more kind of like smooth jazz, kind of funk a little bit, I would have to say, if I'm trying to put in jazz fusion into words. So, yep.
Just when you think you know a guy, holy cow, he drops that on you. A little bit of sophistication to this podcast. Right. Who knew? I love that. What a shout. Now we got to check this out. We got to see we got to see what makes Vinny tick now. So moving on to Justin's number one favorite band of all time.
All right. You guys
now the one I thought you were going to mention was already mentioned before. So let's see what you got.
All right. Justin. This is a band. I almost like their unreleased hits more than their hits, but they're all very good. I think I own every single one of their albums or almost all their albums, and that is the Bare Naked Ladies.
Are you serious?
I love them.
That's amazing.
So fun fact, the first song I heard by them was 1 Week, which came out in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
It was super popular. I think I might have told the story. I remember I was on the All-Star team for baseball that year. We were
an All-Star and Bare Naked.
I know.
But this is unbelievable.
You're talking to an All-Star second baseman and leadoff.
I think I am.
Yeah. Wow. You should see me throw a baseball now. Oh boy. I got the yips. I can't throw it. Chuck Knobloch over here.
Hope you had a better batting stance.
So yeah, I like.
By that I mean a batting stance.
I was like 3'7" at that point, so I just got walked all the time. But anyway, no, I remember we were going to an All-Star game. We had practice for a game or something. We were driving one of my friends at the time that was on the team, and 1 Week came on the radio, and I loved it. He loved it. My mom even liked the song. And that song's very fast. And if you don't know the lyrics, you don't know what the hell they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so the song ends and my dad goes, "What the hell was that kind of music? You can't even hear what they're saying. And I got to go to work. I got to go to work every day."
Scott McElwee.
Yes. His always response was, "I got to go to work every day and they're singing songs and you can't understand them."
I love that.
He's going to listen to this and he's going to be like, "I didn't say that." But anyway, so that got me into, that was their album Stunt. And then I remember my uncle bought me Rock Spectacle for Christmas that year. And that was their live album with If I Had $1 Million. And it had The Old Apartment out, which is a great song, bunch of others. And then Maroon came out. Maroon was a great album. Even their new stuff is relatively good. They have some hits. It was really cool. If you're looking for something interesting to watch, when the pandemic hit in YouTube, when the pandemic hit originally, they were doing Zoom calls where they were each playing their instruments at home and then audio splicing them together. So it was spot on and perfect. It was incredible. They are awesome. And you would think even when their lead singer, Stephen Page, left, that the band would kind of fall apart. And if anything, I think they've gotten better. So the Bare Naked Ladies, that is another band I have never seen in concert, and I keep hoping to see them. So that's my number one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
I did not see that coming.
Really?
I didn't know you liked them. No, I
love that band.
I have no recollection of you ever talking about the Bare Naked Ladies. I don't think so. What's that?
Didn't you have one of their songs on your
I think
90s
I had
list?
one of them on my 90s song list. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had no idea for the love for the band, though. So, like, overall, I just thought it was a song.
Do you guys want to hear my 10 honorable mentions real quick?
I do.
All right. We got Everclear, which I said. Weezer. Yep. I love Weezer. No doubt I mentioned. Red Hot Chili Peppers is another band I really enjoy.
There you go.
Goo Goo Dolls. Love me some Goo Goo Dolls. Beastie Boys. Blink-182. Awesome. Garbage. Shirley Manson is awesome. I love Garbage.
They sang a Bond song. Thank you very much. Really?
Which
the world
one?
Is not enough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Queen, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, and I really like the Rolling Stones too. So there's my honorable mentions. There you go.
Awesome.
All right, Vinny, you got I don't know. Oh, Greg, you still got to do yours. I forgot.
I don't have to if you don't want to hear it.
No,
Justin,
I'm bogarting the mic here. Go ahead.
So I'll burn through my honorable mentions quick. I think, Justin, you mentioned half of them, but Blink-182, Goo Goo Dolls, Nirvana, Good Charlotte, Soundgarden, Linkin Park, Puddle of Mud, AC/DC, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Smash Mouth. That's my jam as a kid. But my number one, and it wasn't hard, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but my number one favorite band of all time is Green Day.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, talk about a band, when I heard, the albums Dookie and Insomniac, I mean, every song on those two stinking albums is fantastic. Another just punk rock alternative, whatever they are, just complete, just music that I identified with, and I think I try to model my behavior after, quite frankly. So especially, my high school or pre-high school years, I mean, that music just spoke to me as the music I related to the most. And even though their music became, a little bit more political when you start getting around American Idiot in 2005, obviously not the turn you want to see it go, but still really, really solid, well-written lyrics. I mean, some of the lyrics Billy Joe Armstrong writes is just really just really interesting, really relevant. Mike Dirnt's a terrific bass player, and Trey Cool's an underrated drummer. So Green Day is easily my favorite band of all time, and songs I will never stop listening to.
Greg, did you ever hear somebody did a mashup, and I remember they used to play it on the old Q101. It was Boulevard of Broken Dreams, but it was Green Day, Oasis, Travis, and Aerosmith, and Eminem. You remember that? I still have that saved on my computer.
When one of our correspondents mentioned A Day to Remember is their top 5 favorite bands, that immediately sprung Q101, because that is a band that showed up quite frequently on that station.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the song, but it was oh god, I can't remember that one big hit they had. But anyway, getting back to Green Day and that mashup, that is yes, I do remember that very much. And Boulevard of Broken Dreams is one of the more popular songs on the American Idiot album, along with Wake Me Up When September Ends. But when I think Green Day, I think of the older albums,
stuff,
Dookie, Insomniac, stuff like that. Song Stuck With Me, Sassafras Roots, some of the lesser known songs are just, Sassafras Roots is one of my favorite Green Day songs of all time. Barely any people know it, but it's just, pretty much a song about wasting time, which is pretty much what I did. So,
I always liked Hitching a Ride too. I always liked
Hitching a Ride was a great song. So we have a little special guest with us right now. So
future Green Day fan.
A little bit. Well, she's starting to love Jackass now. So
there you go.
There we go. So new one's coming out. So we'll see if we can sneak her in. But so that was my number one. Those are the honorable mentions. I think Vinny, you got an honorable mention list.
Yeah,
right
we mentioned some of them: AC/DC, Leonard Skinner, Rolling Stones, Third Eye Blind, Electric Light Orchestra, Green Day, Huey Lewis and the News. Justin, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't know if Aerosmith was ever mentioned by anybody, but
no, I don't think they were.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah,
Sublime, The Offspring, and
of course,
the funk group Wolfpack.
Okay.
I don't know if Vinny's dropping.
I need to drive with Vinny in his car more to get some new music.
Seriously. What a list.
That's awesome, Vinny. It's awesome. Very cool.
Guys, that was difficult and a ton of fun. And maybe our list will change as soon as we leave, maybe the last couple of them. But I really think we talked about some real cool bands tonight, and some nostalgia here for sure. So some names we haven't heard in a while. So
and I think we learned a little bit about each other tonight too.
I think so.
I don't think you guys learned much about me. I learned a lot about you guys.
I learned a ton about Justin.
Yeah, I know. We do every week.
We might need to do like a Justin, fact of the day segment, and I can teach you something new. I don't know. That might not end well for me though. There's
we'll see. It's like, you're not the man I thought you were.
No. I've seen some things now.
He's dark and Disturbed.
I don't think I ever told you guys a story about the hometown police department and me, but that's for another day. So we're not gonna share that one on the air. So definitely not gonna share that one on the air. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We're done.
We made it.
Left. We made it.
I got one thing. I took a poll today for Bears fans to see. What they liked, if they liked the Matt Eberflus hire, if they thought it was good.
I heard Eberflus out here. Are you sure?
It's Eberflus. 38% nay, 36% yay, and 26% of the people that voted said, who cares? So, yep, it does not look. There's Greg. The nays had it, so not a lot of people
really
not liking the Matt Eberflus hire. I think everybody really wanted I
wanted Dan Quinn
coordinator hire or somebody with experience. They didn't want a first time guy, but you don't know about first time guys until you hire them.
That's true. They got to get their experience somewhere. So
it'd be nice if we get like the Sean McVay of defense. Is there any chance we did?
Maybe.
Or we just good offensive coordinator, good quarterbacks coach. Will also be big hires. With me, it's like Eberflus. I'm so confused now. Eberflus. I know. I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
I just want to win games. Win
baby.
Win freaking football games, will you please? And then I might like you. That's where I'm at right now. So, but yeah, I really like the Poles hire. I think that's cool. I think that's the right hire. I think if that was the case, where he's kind of running the show a little bit, keeping McCaskey, Phillips out of that bullshit.
Yep.
I think if it doesn't work out, which that's what history shows, but I'll always kind of look back. I'm like, okay, that hire made sense at the time. It just didn't pan out the way we thought. So we'll see. It's a lot of we'll see, but just freaking win, you sons of bitches. So
exactly.
All right. Well,
this is why I didn't do the Bears segment either.
You probably for the best, right?
Sweating in my beautiful Blake Bortles jersey here. So
there you go.
You need to frame that thing, Greg.
I do need to frame this. It's okay. It's very comfortable though. I don't know. It's actually kind of itchy.
It's got that Blake Bortles stank on it. You got to be careful.
Little bit.
Well,
I got his card back here too. Part of his jersey right there. So that's from Vinny. Actually, I've showed you guys this before, right?
You have. For the longest time, I appreciated Greg's commitment. Thank you. Words are hard.
Commitment. Speaking's difficult.
Yeah, right?
His commitment to the bits of Blake Bortles, but I think over the last couple of years, I'm starting to think he just really likes Blake Bortles.
I do like him. He won me my fantasy league.
There you go. That's good.
So he's stay true to my guys. So
all right,
even though he's terrible.
Well, we will be back.
Football.
I offer my commitments that we will be back next week for another podcast, Baseball and Whatever, episode 41 next week. Check your social media feeds. We will tell you what we're talking about. Again, reach out to us, tweet us at Baseball and What, email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com or Baseball and Whatever podcast at bellyofsports.com, facebook.com/baseball and whatever, or the easiest way to get a hold of us is text us or leave us a voicemail at 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 913-808-BART. Wonderful. And again, Vinny, thank you so much for hooking up the soundboard. We got some more stuff coming your way. And again, we will see you all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
See ya.